Today is the feast of St. John the Apostle. Yesterday, now we're in the Christmas season. Yesterday was the feast of St. Stephen, first martyr. John the Apostle, the beloved disciple, the one Jesus, his favorite, in other words, I guess. One of the 12. He was at Jesus at the Last Supper. He was at the Passion, and he was given the responsibility, the privilege of caring for Jesus' mother Mary after Jesus died. A few traditions about him. Emperor Domitian had him brought to Rome. He had him beaten, poisoned, thrown into a cauldron of boiling oil, but he stepped out unharmed, so he was banished to the Isle of Patmos instead, and commemorated by the Feast of St. John before the Latin Gate. When John was en route to preach in Asia, his ship was wrecked in a storm, and he was all but John were cast ashore. John was assumed dead, but 2 weeks later, waves cast him on the shore alive. When John denounced an idol worship as demonic, followers of Artemis stoned him, and the rocks turned and hit the throwers. That when you go back to that thing, he was thrown in a cauldron and they try to kill him and poison him and stuff. Oftentimes when it comes to the saints, and I've read enough saints to know, that they'll go, okay, behead them. Like they go into an oven and they come out alive. They go into a lion's den, they come out alive. You would think that that would be enough to say, okay, we believe. But no, then they cut their heads. That's usually a definitive. That might be why some people still do that today. Let's see. When John was, he prayed at the temple of Artemis. From heaven, fire from heaven killed 200 men who worshipped the idol. When the remaining group begged for mercy, he raised the 200 from the dead. They all converted and were baptized. He drove out a demon who had lived in a pagan temple for 249 years. Aboard a ship, he purified the vessels of seawater into drinking water. Sionops, a magician, pretended to bring 3 dead people to come to life. The people, quote, were actually demons who mimicked people so the magician could turn away people from Christ. Through prayer, John caused the magician to drown and the demons to vanish. St. John the Apostle died in circa 101 in Ephesus, which is modern-day Turkey. Patronages against epilepsy, burns, hailstorms, poisonings, for art dealers, bookbinders, booksellers, butchers, compositors, editors, engravers, glazers, printers, tanners. St. John, pray for us. All the saints, pray for us.